Good morning. This is Daily Hebrew Declarations with Daniel Jedediah Cook, and I'm reading the declaration for today, April the 19th, 2021. The three Hebrew letters we're honoring today are Ayin, Kof, and Shin. Along with those three living letters, we're also honoring the spirit of counsel and the spirit of might. The declaration today reads this: Ayin, spelled Ayin, Yod, and Nun Sofit. My spiritual and mental faculties, springing forth and traversing the universe in a micro instant. Set apart to be holy, as Yahweh calls us to be holy as He is holy. Shin, our witness from the letters that we are all one together in each other and in Yeshua. Now, today's declaration begins with me saying that we have been really busy the last several weeks. It's probably been about a month since I've put out a daily Hebrew declaration, and I do sincerely apologize for the unannounced break in doing the daily Hebrew declarations. Michelle and I have been going a lot lately. We had several conferences. We had actually 3 or 4 conferences throughout that period of time, and we're quite busy during that time. I am trying to work on some things so that we can still continue without break the next time. But please bear in mind as we go through these daily Hebrew declarations that there may be periods of time where we take a little bit of a break from doing the podcasts. But we thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for being so much of a part of what we are doing here. Michelle and I have actually taken a huge leap of faith and have, because of the things that have been going on and how busy we've gotten, that we have decided for me to step down from my daytime job that I was doing to go into ministry full time. And we're very, very excited about that because it's going to give us the opportunity to make sure that we can still continue to do what we know that Yahweh has called us to do. We love you guys so greatly and are so thankful for what Yahweh has done in us, through us, and in you and through you. Those of you that have been at our schools, you know what I'm talking about when I say that our focus is to allow a voice of everyone. I am a king amongst kings, a son amongst sons, and a priest amongst priests. Or if you will, I can go one step further. I'm a teacher amongst teachers. So what do I mean by that? The fact that each one of us sit down at the table when we do these daily Hebrew declarations, when we do our School of the Living Letters and the Living Letter Mentor series, we're doing that from a place of equality amongst all, and that place where we are all brothers and sisters together, working and finding and digging into the depth, each voice counting, just like the facets of the diamond of Yahweh, all add to the beauty of the diamond of Yahweh. So you see, even though I was going through that, really I was speaking about Ayin, because it talks about this place of seeing. See, Ayin is also a word, and it literally means eye. So when you look at this, it's spelled Ayin, Yod, and Nun Sofit. Ayin talks about the place of us seeing, the place of seeing through our eyes. Now, there's a really deep story here that I don't have time to get into today, but I can tell you that Yahweh took me through a place where He began to show me that when He asked me to look through His eyes one day. But then I began to meditate on the fact that He had been asking me to look through His eyes. And the place where He was doing that from was from the secret place. Well, the secret place is inside of me. And so I got to thinking about it, and I was like, no, wait, if the secret place is inside of me, and He's asking me to look through His eyes, I began just to think about the physical aspect of it. Because I asked another question. Is there another set of eyes that you and I, Father, look through from the place of the secret place? And I realized it did. That it was my own physical eye, my own flesh eye, that we were both seeing through together. And it began 2 questions that you guys have heard me talk about a lot. What do you see and how do you see it? A little bit later, Yahweh added a 3rd question. Why do you see it that way? As a way for me to be able to to dig into and understand that, the age-old question that we've always asked, and what I'm seeing from God, from Yahweh or not? And the truth is there's two major things that for me allow me to know whether or not I'm hearing Yahweh. Number one, do I have peace? Because if I have peace, then I know that I am operating in the direction that he is wanting me to go into. Number two, when I ask those questions, what do I see and how do I see it? Does it fit what I know about who Yahweh is? Now, I know that grows, and it grows exponentially. The more we take the time to look through these things, the more the intent of our heart begins to come out in the very things that we act, see, and do, then that is going to grow, and the maturity comes as a result of that, because we begin to realize more and more and more and become more and more confident in the fact of who and what we are seeing when we look at something. So you see, when we're looking at this is where she's talking about my spiritual and mental faculties springing forth and traversing the universe in a micro instant. I love that. I love that statement, because really it talks about the place of how we used to see things. I always used to see, now maybe not you, but I know that I used to see things as always being separated. That God was a God that was way up there, and I could never get to the place where I could see him face to face, or that I could really be with him, because there seemed to be such a great chasm between the two places. But then as I began to grow and I began to understand, and I gave my life to the Lord, I realized that chasm was really only in my own mind. And so in that sense, I can be with him, traversing the universe in a micro instant, if you're looking at him being afar off, because of the fact that Ayin puts my eyes in the very heart of Yahweh. Think about that for just a moment. It puts my eyes into the very heart of Yahweh. But I still have a choice with the way that I see things. And it causes a responsibility to be there. It causes me to then check, okay, why do I see it this way? What am I seeing? How do I see it? And why am I seeing it this way? You see, Yahweh has already set us apart to be holy, and he has called us to be holy as he is holy. How can we do that? To me, holiness is that place of standing firm in knowing that my heart and Yahweh's heart are really one. We are connected to the place where that micro instant is only the distance from one side of my heart to the other, and from one side of his heart to the other. You see, that's a beautiful expression of being set apart inside of his heart, living from that place of inside of his heart. I'm reminded of Psalm 91, and he who sits. I know it says in the King James that he who dwells, but when you look at that first word there, it actually says he who sits. He who sits in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow. Batzal. And when Yahweh started showing me that Hebrew word Batzal, Beit Zadi Lamed, I began to realize that word right there really was an expression of the heart and the love of Yahweh in us, through us, and for us. You see, in that place, Shin becomes our witness from the letters that we are all one together in each other and in him. That's the place where we live, we operate, we are who we are in him. And I'm so thankful for the place that these living letters have begun to just open up such a greater depth. Now, we're going to be opening up a Living Letter Mentor series in Asia. So if you're in Asia, take a look. We're going to be releasing the information soon, where we're going to have it for a specific time that is best for you in Asia and the Pacific region. We're also going to be opening up a UK and South Africa division of the Living Letter Mentor series. So those of you that are in the UK and South Africa, this will be a time in the evening that is best for you. US, we're also doing the same thing here in the US in conjunction with our 2 schools that we already have running. So keep an eye out, because we will be releasing that information very, very soon, and we would love for you guys to be a part of this. Blessings and shalom, and thank you for allowing us to have this awesome time of rest over the last month.